God says, "My child, this message has been guided to you for a reason. You did not come across these words by accident. Your spirit called out for help, and I have come to answer. Tonight, a shift begins within your life, one that you have been praying for, longing for, and silently waiting for. You have carried the weight of financial stress in your heart for far too long. You've walked through days where you worried about how to make things work, where the pressure felt heavier than your strength. You've tried to stay calm on the outside, even when storms rage inside you. People around you may not know how much you struggled, but I saw everything. There were nights you couldn't sleep, moments you looked at the sky for answers, times you questioned, when will my breakthrough come? I heard every prayer, every whisper, every silent cry. Tonight, I want you to know this truth: your season of financial blockage is ending. What once felt stuck will move. What once felt closed will open. What once felt impossible will begin to shift. The energy around your life is changing. The chains that held your finances, your opportunities, and your progress, they are weakening. I am releasing a new path before you, one filled with opportunities that were once hidden by delays and spiritual resistance. This is not a message of hope alone. It is a message of confirmation. I am already working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Doors you thought were shut forever are beginning to unlock. Situations that seemed dead are being revived. Resources that were blocked are being released. My child, breathe. You are entering a divine moment of restoration. You are stepping into a night where heaven fights for your abundance. A night marks the beginning of your shift. If you want, I will now continue with, my child, before your breakthrough arrives. I want you to understand this. I have seen every hidden struggle you have endured. You did not walk through your financial hardships alone. Even when you felt abandoned by people, I was standing beside you, watching over your steps and protecting your future. You have gone through seasons where money felt like sand slipping through your fingers. No matter how carefully you planned, no matter how hard you worked, it felt like something always came up to take away what little you had. An unexpected bill, a sudden responsibility, a loss you didn't foresee, a delay you didn't deserve. You carried these burdens quietly, pretending everything was fine. You smiled, even when your heart felt heavy. You kept moving, even when your spirit was tired. You gave strength to others, even when you had none left for yourself. I saw the nights where you sat alone, wondering, why is this happening to me? When will it get better? Why does it feel like nothing is moving forward? You asked these questions with sincerity, not doubt. You were not questioning my presence. You were trying to understand your path. You were trying to make sense of the weight on your shoulders. You do not know this, but there were moments when the pressure on your finances should have broken you, yet you survived. That was not your strength alone. That was my hand, holding you together when life tried to pull you apart. There were times when you had every reason to give up, but something inside you whispered, keep going. That whisper was me. You endured days where you needed help but didn't know who to ask. You lived through moments where the numbers didn't add up, yet somehow you made it through another week, another month, another storm. You stretched what you had until it felt impossible, but still, you managed. And even when you were tired of being strong, you continued to push. You didn't break. You didn't quit. You didn't surrender to fear. This strength, this resilience did not go unnoticed. Many around you have no idea how close you came to falling apart. They don't know the nights you almost cried yourself to sleep. They don't know the silent prayers you whispered when no one was listening. They don't know how deeply you feared losing control. But I know. I was there in every moment. I counted every tear. I understood every fear. I felt every burden you carried. And now, hear me clearly, your struggle was not a sign of failure, it was a sign of preparation. Your delays were not punishments, they were protections. Your hardships were not the end, they were the beginning of a shift. You survived everything that was designed to break you. You endured everything meant to discourage you. You stayed faithful through situations that would have destroyed others. And now, my child, because you did not give up, because you continued even when life pressed you down, because you trusted despite the weight, you are entering a season where your financial struggles will turn into testimonies. This chapter of your life, your hidden suffering, is closing. A new chapter is opening. Your survival was not random. It was purpose. It was preparation. It was positioning. You have no idea how close your breakthrough truly is. My child, listen closely before I move you into the blessings I've prepared. I want you to feel something you have not felt in a long time: divine validation. You have walked through seasons where you felt unseen. You have tried your best, yet it felt like no one noticed your effort. You carried responsibilities that were heavier than your shoulders wanted to bear. And often, you wondered, does anyone truly understand what I'm going through? Today I want you to know, I do. I saw the moments when your heart felt tired, but you kept going anyway. I saw the times when you pretended to be strong because you didn't want anyone to worry. I saw the days when you had to motivate yourself, when no one was there to encourage you. I saw the nights when fear whispered doubts into your mind, yet you still chose to believe that things would eventually change. You did not suffer in silence without purpose. Your pain was not ignored. Your prayers did not disappear into the air. Your sacrifices did not go unnoticed. Every single time you pushed forward, even when life pushed back harder, heaven took note of your strength. You weren't weak for feeling tired. You weren't losing faith for asking why. You weren't failing for struggling. You were human. And still, you held on. My child, I'm proud of you. You stood firm in storms that others would have collapsed under. You held on to hope even when everything around you looked hopeless. You trusted me with a heart that was hurting, tired, and unsure. And because of that faith, because of your endurance, because of your willingness to keep moving forward even when life felt heavy, I am lifting you into a new season. You may not realize this, but your strength in the struggle became your seed for the blessing. Your patience became your offering. Your tears became your prayer. Your perseverance became your testimony. You asked for signs. You asked for clarity. You asked for a moment where everything would finally make sense. My child, this is that moment. This message is your sign. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not alone. You are seen, valued, protected, remembered, and loved. And now, because you remained faithful when life was difficult, the doors that resisted you will bow before you. The blessings that were delayed will be released. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is already moving toward you. I validate your struggle. I validate your effort. I validate your journey. My child, now that your heart is calm and open, I want to reveal something you have carried inside you for a long time. You have wondered why your finances felt blocked, why every time you took one step forward, something seemed to push you 2 steps back. You questioned in silence, not because you lacked faith in me, but because you simply wanted to understand the purpose behind your struggle. Today, I will give you the clarity your spirit hath been waiting for. You must understand first, your financial delays were never a punishment. They were a shield. There were paths you wanted to walk into, opportunities you chased, and doors you believed would change your life. But I closed them not to hurt you, but to protect you. You saw possibility, but I saw what was hidden behind those doors. I saw the traps disguised as blessings, the people who would have taken advantage of your generosity, the situations that would have drained your peace and robbed you of your purpose. What looked right to you was not right for your destiny. What looked safe to you was not safe for your spirit. So I stepped in. I blocked what would have broken you. Some of the losses that disappointed you were actually rescues. Some of the delays that frustrated you were divine redirections. If I hadn't slowed you down, you would have walked straight into the plans of people who did not deserve access to your heart, your money, or your future. And though you didn't understand it then, every closed door was protection. Every no was a shield. Every delay was me placing my hand over your life and saying, not this way, not yet, not with these people. But protection was not the only reason. You were being prepared. My child, blessings are not only about receiving. They require strength to manage, wisdom to handle, and maturity to sustain. Had I released financial abundance before your heart was ready, you would have wasted it on people who only clapped for you when you had something to give. You would have trusted the wrong voices, invested in the wrong places, believed the wrong advice, and leaned on people who had no intention of lifting you higher. You needed time to grow, time to understand your own worth, time to recognize who truly supports you and who only uses you. And so I allowed certain seasons to stretch your patience. I allowed moments where your faith was tested, not because I wanted you to suffer, but because I wanted you to develop the wisdom to handle wealth without letting it control your mind or attract the wrong souls. You learned how to survive with little, so when I give you much, you will respect it and never fear losing it again. There is another truth you must understand. Not everyone around you was meant to enter your next level. Some carried jealousy quietly. Some smiled while hoping you would fail. Some pretended to support you while secretly resenting your potential. If I had blessed you fully while those people stood close to you, they would have poisoned your blessings, drained your energy, or attached themselves to you for their own gain. So I slowed your finances not to punish you, but to expose them. And you saw it. You saw who disappeared when you struggled. You saw who celebrated your setbacks. You saw who only called when they needed something. I revealed their hearts so they could not follow you into the season I am about to give you. My child, you also faced hidden spiritual resistance. There were battles around you that you could not see. Forces that tried to discourage you, confuse you, make you quit, weaken your faith, and dim your light. You weren't imagining the heaviness you felt. You weren't wrong when you sensed something blocking your progress. But through it all, I stood beside you. Every time something tried to stop you, I pushed it back. Every time fear tried to break you, I whispered strength into your soul. And now, the season of blockage is ending. The delays that once surrounded you have lost their power. The resistance that once held you cannot hold you any longer. You have grown. You have matured. You have learned, and now you are ready not just to receive, but to sustain the abundance I am preparing for you. Your financial blockages did not happen to defeat you. They happened to shape you. And now, my child, the season that once held you back is breaking open before your eyes. My child, now that you understand the purpose behind your delays, I want to reveal something even deeper, something that existed beneath the surface of your life, influencing your finances, your opportunities, and your inner peace. These were not physical obstacles. These were spiritual blockages that you could not see, but you felt them every day. You often wondered why money slipped away so quickly, why opportunities fell apart at the last moment, why unexpected problems kept rising every time you tried to move forward. You thought you were just unlucky. You thought you were doing something wrong. But the truth is, much of the pressure you carried did not come from your mistakes. It came from invisible forces resisting your progress. There were seasons when your spirit felt heavy, even when nothing seemed wrong on the outside. You would wake up feeling anxious, unmotivated, or suddenly discouraged, without knowing why. You would start something with excitement, only to feel drained halfway through. You would make progress, only to face unexpected setbacks. These were not coincidences. These were spiritual tensions surrounding your life. There were people around you who carried energy that was not aligned with your blessings. Some carried jealousy that silently poisoned your atmosphere. Some carried doubt that weakened your confidence. Some carried negativity that attached itself to your spirit when you didn't even notice. Their presence alone created spiritual clutter around you, blocking your clarity, draining your focus, and disrupting the flow of abundance meant for you. You didn't realize how deeply connected your finances were to the people you allowed into your space. There were individuals who smiled at you but secretly envied you. They did not celebrate your ideas or dreams. Some quietly hoped your efforts would fail so they could feel better about their own lack of growth. Their energy created a spiritual fog around your blessings. Your spirit felt their intentions long before your mind understood what was happening. There were also wounds from your past that formed strongholds over your financial life. Times when you were made to feel unworthy of abundance. Times when you were told that success was out of reach for someone like you. Times when failure left scars that made you afraid to try again. These emotional wounds became spiritual walls, blocking the flow of money, creativity, confidence, and opportunity. You often doubted your abilities because of what you had been through. You questioned your value because of how others treated you. And without realizing it, you carried beliefs like "I am not enough," "I always struggle," or "nothing ever works for me." These thoughts were not just mental, they were spiritual patterns. And these patterns silently shaped your reality. The fear of losing money also created a barrier. You became scared to take chances, scared to trust, scared to dream. You held on to survival mode even when I wanted to take you into abundance. But fear and abundance cannot live in the same heart. Fear closes doors. Faith opens them. There were moments when negativity, stress, and anxiety clouded your spirit so heavily that it became difficult for blessings to reach you. You were praying, hoping, working, but the weight around you made the path slow and unclear. Every time you took a step forward, the heaviness tried to pull you backward. But my child, hear me now. None of these spiritual blockages were stronger than my plan for you. Every chain has a breaking point, and the pressure you felt was not a sign of defeat, it was a sign that the chains were weakening. You have been growing stronger without realizing it. You started noticing who drains you, You started distancing yourself from those who do not support you. You started recognizing patterns that no longer serve your spirit. You began choosing peace over chaos. You began choosing self-worth over seeking validation. You began choosing wisdom over impulse. These were not small decisions. They were spiritual breakthroughs. Your clarity has increased. Your awareness has sharpened. Your spirit has matured. You are no longer the same person you were when these blockages formed. And because of that, those forces cannot hold you anymore. I have already started clearing the spiritual clutter around your life. The wrong people are drifting away. Toxic energy is dissolving. Old wounds are healing. Your mindset is shifting. Your inner strength is rising. You are becoming aligned with abundance, with purpose, with grace. Everything that once blocked your finances is losing its power. Everything that once created confusion is being removed. Everything that once weighed your spirit down is being lifted. My child, you are stepping into a season where spiritual resistance will fall before you. The heaviness around your life is breaking. Invisible barriers around your blessings are collapsing. You are entering a space where your spirit is clear, your mind is strong, and your path is open. And now, because the spiritual blockages are being removed, your financial blessings can flow freely. My child, now that the hidden blockages have been revealed and the weight surrounding your spirit has begun to lift, I want you to open your heart to a truth that will shape the rest of your journey. A divine shift is beginning for you tonight. This is not hope. This is not a wish. This is not a possibility. This is a declaration from heaven. For a long time, you have lived through cycles of delay and disappointment. You tried, you worked, you prayed, you waited, but nothing seemed to move the way you expected. Your efforts felt heavy. Your progress felt slow. Your rewards felt small compared to the energy you were giving. You kept pushing, yet something always interfered with the flow of blessings meant for you. But hear me now, that cycle ends tonight. There are moments in your life when change happens slowly, quietly, gradually, little by little, step by step. But there are also moments when change happens suddenly, instantly, powerfully. Moments when the spiritual realm shifts in your favor. Moments when I step in with force. Moments when everything that resisted you loses its power in an instant. Tonight is one of those moments. You may not feel it yet with your physical senses, but your spirit already knows something is different. You might feel a strange calm, a deep breath within your soul, or a soft sense of anticipation. That is the first sign that the shift has begun. What once felt heavy will begin to feel lighter. What once felt closed will begin to feel open. What once felt delayed will begin to accelerate. This is the hand of God moving. Tonight, I am breaking the chains around your finances. The chains of limitation. The chains of fear. The chains of generational struggle. The chains of doubt. The chains of bad timing. The chains of confusion. Everything that once restricted you is losing its authority. Everything that once held your blessings is releasing its grip. You have walked through seasons where it seemed like others moved ahead while you stayed stuck. You tried not to compare, yet sometimes your heart wondered why progress came slowly to you. But my child, your journey was never about speed, it was about alignment. And now, for the first time in a long time, your spirit, your heart, your purpose, and your destiny are lining up in perfect order. This alignment is what creates supernatural shifts. You will begin to notice opportunities appearing in unexpected ways. People will reach out to you without explanation. Ideas will come to you clearly. Doors that remain closed for years will suddenly open with ease. Situations that once felt impossible will start unfolding naturally. Money that was blocked will start flowing again. Delays will turn into approvals. Rejections will become redirections towards something better. Some of these blessings will feel so sudden that you will ask yourself, how did this happen so fast? That is the power of divine acceleration. When I shift your season, what once took years can happen in days. What once required struggle can come effortlessly. What once felt distant can appear before you with divine timing. The night marks the beginning of a new momentum. The slow, heavy energy that surrounded your finances is being lifted off your life. A fresh wave of clarity, opportunity, and abundance is being released over you. You will notice yourself thinking differently, feeling differently, acting differently. Your fears will begin to fade. Your confidence will rise. Your decisions will become sharper. Your spirit will sense the change before your eyes see it. You have been in a long season of preparation, but tonight begins your season of movement. Nothing that belongs to you will remain stuck. Nothing meant for you will be delayed. Nothing promised to you will be stolen. Your new season is protected by my hand, guided by my will, and fueled by my power. My child, the shift that begins tonight will reach every area of your financial life. Debts will lose their way. Delays will lose their grip. Stagnation will lose its place. Even your relationship with money will change. Instead of fear, you will feel faith. Instead of anxiety, you will feel assurance. Instead of scarcity, you will feel flow. There will be days ahead when you will look back at this moment and realize it was the night everything quietly turned in your favor. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that I am already rearranging your circumstances. I am working behind conversations you haven't heard. I am touching hearts you haven't met. I am shifting situations you don't yet understand. You are stepping into a chapter where favor goes before you, grace surrounds you, and abundance follows you. Nothing can stop what I have started. No opposition can reverse it. No resistance can withstand it. No fear can interfere with it. Take a breath, my child. Feel the peace settling in your heart. Feel the lightness in your spirit. Feel the hope rising again. These are not emotions, these are confirmation. The shift is here. The shift is real. The shift has begun. And tonight heaven moves in your favor. My child, as this divine shift begins to unfold in your life, I want you to recognize the signs that your financial breakthrough is drawing near. Breakthrough does not arrive without a whisper from heaven. Before the blessing is visible, it is sensed. Before the financial flow begins, the spiritual atmosphere around you changes. And you have already begun to feel it, even if you didn't fully understand it until now. There are moments recently when you have felt a sudden calm in your spirit, a peace that didn't make sense based on your circumstances. A quiet confidence rose within you, even though nothing in your physical world had changed yet. That peace wasn't random. It was the first sign. Peace arrives before blessing because your spirit recognizes what your eyes cannot see. You have also begun to feel a shift in your thoughts. Ideas that once felt confusing are suddenly becoming clear. Solutions that once escaped you are now appearing easily. You are seeing paths you didn't notice before. Your creativity is awakening. Your mind is no longer clouded the way it used to be. This is not coincidence. This is preparation. I am sharpening your vision for the opportunities I am bringing into your life. Another sign is the rise of unexpected courage. You've been feeling more confident about decisions you used to fear. You find yourself willing to step into new possibilities instead of holding back. You feel guided to take small steps forward instead of hiding from challenges. That courage is me strengthening your spirit for the financial doors I am opening. Then there is the inner restlessness, the sense that something is about to happen. It is not anxiety, it is anticipation. Your spirit feels movement before your mind understands it. You may find yourself unable to stay in the same mindset, the same routine, the same level. That restlessness is the spiritual push that happens right before elevation. It is the breaking of old cycles, making room for new blessings. Pay attention to the people around you as well. When a breakthrough is close, I begin shifting relationships. You may have noticed certain people drifting away, those who drained your energy, doubted your growth, or carried jealousy in their hearts. Their distance is not loss, it is cleansing. I'm removing them so they cannot block the blessings that are coming. You may also find new people entering your life, individuals who encourage you, inspire you, or bring new opportunities. These connections are not random. They are divine alignments. I place the right people on your path when the time for breakthrough arrives. You may have also noticed an increase in spiritual signs, repeating numbers, unexpected confirmations, messages that speak directly to your situation. Sometimes you come across words that feel like they were written just for you. Sometimes a thought repeats itself in your heart. Sometimes you feel my presence more strongly. These are not accidents. These are the whispers of heaven guiding you toward what is yours. Another sign of breakthrough is when old obstacles suddenly lose their power. Situations that used to cause anxiety now feel manageable. Problems that felt overwhelming now feel lighter. The things that once discouraged you no longer have the same effect. This is because your spirit is rising above the limitations that once held you down. You are outgrowing your old season. You may notice a shift in your energy, feeling more motivated, more hopeful, even without a clear reason. You may find yourself waking up with newfound strength or going to sleep with a sense of calm that was not there before. This is my spirit renewing you from within, preparing you to hold the financial blessings coming your way. There will also be small breakthroughs that start happening around you, unexpected kindness, small financial reliefs, minor debts being cleared, new opportunities appearing, or positive feedback on something you once doubted. These small shifts are previews of the greater blessing. And then, my child, there is the sign most people overlook: resistance. Sometimes, right before a breakthrough, you may feel a sudden emotional or spiritual attack, unexpected discouragement, temporary confusion, or a wave of old fears trying to return. Do not be alarmed when this happens. This is the final push from the opposition, the last attempt to distract you before the blessing arrives. Darkness fights hardest right before the dawn, but it cannot stop what I have planned. You are in a moment where everything inside you is being awakened. Your intuition is sharper. Your spirit is more alert. Your heart is more open. Your faith is quietly rising. You don't need to force anything. Just stay present. Stay aware. Stay connected to me. Your breakthrough is not approaching, it is near. It is close enough that your spirit can feel it. Close enough that the energy around you is shifting. Close enough that you are receiving signs daily. Close enough that the heaviness you carried for so long is lifting. Close enough that your heart is beginning to trust again. Close enough that you are preparing yourself without realizing it. My child, you are walking into a season where things that once felt impossible will suddenly feel natural. Where what you prayed for will meet you quickly. Where opportunities will align in ways you never expected. Where abundance flows easily and consistently. These signs are not random hints. They are confirmations. They are signals from heaven. They are evidence that what you have been waiting for is finally moving toward you. Your breakthrough is near and nothing can stop it now. My child, now that you have seen the signs and felt the shift, I want you to hear the promises I have spoken over your life, promises that cannot be broken, promises that have followed you from the moment you were born, promises that are awakening in this very season. These are not empty words or distant hopes. These are truths rooted in my love for you, truths written into your destiny long before you knew how to spell the word faith. I want you to understand something deep and unshakable. I have never planned a life of lack for you. You were not created to live with constant fear of running out, constant worry about how things will work out, or constant stress over what will happen next. You were created to experience provision, abundance, and stability, not because life is easy, but because my presence is powerful. There have been moments in your life where you felt abandoned by the flow of blessings. You wondered if maybe you were forgotten, overlooked, or unworthy. But my child, listen closely. Your worth was never measured by your bank account, your mistakes, your delays, or your struggles. Your worth has always been anchored in my love for you, and that love has never changed, not for a single moment. Even when you walked through seasons of financial stress, I was not distant. I was watching, guiding, redirecting, and protecting. And now, because you remained faithful even when the path was hard, I am opening the gates of provision in ways that will surprise you. One of my promises to you is this: you will never walk alone again when it comes to your finances. Not emotionally, not spiritually, not practically. You have carried your burdens in silence for too long, and that silence ends now. I am touching your circumstances. I am rearranging the things that surround you. I am breaking patterns that have followed you for years. You will not return to the cycles I have freed you from. I promise you stability where there was once fear. I promise you clarity where there was once confusion. I promise you progress where there was once stagnation. I promise you growth where there was once loss. I promise you abundance where there was once lack. And I promise you peace, peace that money cannot buy and stress cannot steal. I have watched you give even when you had little. I have watched you stay grateful even when life was difficult. I have watched you share kindness even when you needed kindness yourself. You did not let hardship turn your heart. You remained generous, hopeful, gentle, and compassionate. And because you gave even in your lack, I will give to you in your abundance. There will come a day very soon when you will look back at this moment with tears in your eyes, not tears of fear, but tears of gratitude. You will realize that nothing you went through was wasted. Every delay strengthened you. Every disappointment taught you. Every hardship refined you. Every tear watered the seeds of the blessings that are now growing. My child, the blessings coming to you are not temporary. They are not unstable. They are not fragile. They are not uncertain. What I am releasing into your life will last. It will sustain you. It will elevate you. It will support you. It will heal what past struggles damage. It will restore what you thought was gone forever. It will rebuild what was broken. It will replace what was lost. You are stepping into a season where money will no longer be a burden, but a tool, something you manage, not something that controls you. You will no longer fear whether there will be enough. You will no longer question whether you deserve abundance. You will know deep inside that you were always meant to rise. This is my promise to you. I will provide. I will protect. I will guide. I will sustain. And I will elevate you at the right time. And the right time is drawing near. Hold these promises close to your heart. Let them calm your worries and silence your fears. Let them become the foundation on which you stand. Let them remind you that your journey is not ending in struggle, it is rising into abundance. The promise is written. The blessing is moving. And the breakthrough is yours. My child, now that your spirit is awake and your heart understands the shift that is unfolding, I want you to take a moment with me, a moment that will open the pathway for your breakthrough to fully flow into your life. This moment is sacred. This moment is powerful. This moment is where your faith meets my promise. Before blessings manifest in the physical world, they must be welcomed in the spiritual. And tonight, I want you to create space within yourself for the abundance that is coming. You have carried fear for too long. You have carried stress in your chest, heaviness in your mind, and worry in your heart. But now, breathe. Let all of that loosen. Let it soften. Let it go. Place your hand gently over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Feel the life I placed within you. Feel the strength you never realized you carried. Take a deep breath in slowly, deeply, and exhale. Let your shoulders relax. Let your spirit settle. Allow yourself, for this moment, to simply be held by my presence. As you breathe, I want you to speak these words not with fear, not with doubt, but with faith. God is opening my financial path. Say it softly. Say it slowly. Say it with certainty. Feel the truth of it moving through you. With every repetition, you are breaking agreement with fear. With every repetition, you are stepping out of old patterns. With every repetition, you are aligning yourself with my blessing. You may feel a warmth in your chest, a tingling in your hands, a sudden calm, or even a tear falling without warning. These are signs that your spirit is releasing what you no longer need and receiving what you have been destined for. Let it happen. Do not hold back. This is a moment of cleansing, a moment of opening, a moment of alignment. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture a door in front of you, not a physical door, but a spiritual one. It has been closed for a long time, locked by fear, guarded by doubt, locked by old beliefs. But tonight, watch as the door begins to glow with light. Watch as the lock breaks open. Watch as the door slowly swings wide. This is the door of your financial breakthrough. This is the entrance to your new season. You are not watching from a distance, you are stepping through it. Walk forward in your mind. Walk through the door. Feel the shift as you cross from the old into the new. Feel the heaviness dissolve behind you. Feel the warmth of abundance rising in front of you. This simple act of faith, this simple act of vision activates what heaven is releasing into your life. My child, the moment you opened your heart, the breakthrough began. The moment you spoke those words, the spiritual atmosphere changed. The moment you chose faith over fear, the blessing moved closer. You have taken the first step. You have aligned your spirit. You have said yes to the blessing I am bringing, and now the breakthrough is on its way. My child, as this message comes to its final chapter, I want you to understand something deeply, clearly, and unshakably. Your life is not going to remain where it has been. You are not returning to the struggles that once tried to define you. You are not stepping back into fear, into survival mode, or into doubt. You are walking into a future touched by my hand, guided by my presence, and strengthened by my promise. You have traveled through a long and heavy season. You carried burdens that others did not see and wounds that only I understood. You survived moments that would have crushed a weaker soul. But here you are still standing, still hoping, still believing. The strength inside you is not ordinary. It is the strength I placed there. The fact that you made it this far is proof that my hand has always been upon you. I want you to lift your head now, not in pride, but in divine confidence. You are not who you used to be. You are not the person who struggled in silence. You are not the soul who feared tomorrow. You are not the heart that doubted its own worth. You are rising, becoming, transforming. Every experience you walked through has shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the blessings I have prepared. The season you are walking into will not drain you, it will restore you. The opportunities coming your way will not confuse you, they will elevate you. The people I am bringing into your life will not harm you, they will honor you. The resources that are flowing toward you will not slip away, they will sustain you. My child, I need you to understand this. No force, no obstacle, no delay, and no darkness can block what I have released over your life. What is meant for you cannot be stolen. What I have promised you cannot be canceled. What I am preparing for you cannot be ruined by the hands of others. The blessings that once felt distant are now drawing near, and nothing can push them away. Allow your spirit to rest now. Lay down the fears you've carried for years. Release the stress that lived in your heart for too long. Let go of every voice that told you you were not enough, every memory that told you you would fail, every lie that made you believe your future was uncertain. You are stepping into a chapter where peace becomes your foundation, where provision becomes your norm, where clarity becomes your companion. Take a slow breath and feel my presence wrap around you. You are safe. You are supported. You are held. I am walking into your future ahead of you, clearing the path, lining the right people, opening the right doors, and preparing the right opportunities. You are not walking blindly, you are walking with me. And now, I speak this over your life. You will rise. You will prosper. You will overcome. You will flourish. You will not lack. You will not fall. You will not return to what I have freed you from. This is not the end of your story, this is the beginning of the chapter you prayed for. Tonight is not just another night. Tonight is a turning point. Tonight is a shift. Tonight is a doorway into the life you were always meant to live. Walk forward with faith, my child. Walk forward with boldness. Walk forward knowing that heaven goes before you and goodness follows behind you. Your breakthrough is here. Your blessings are opening. Your future is rising. And I am with you now, tomorrow, and always. My child, before you leave this message, I want you to do something that aligns your spirit with the blessing that has been spoken over you. When you like this message, when you subscribe to receive more of my words, when you comment your faith, you are not just interacting with a video. You are declaring to heaven that you are ready, willing, and open for what I am releasing. If this message touched your heart, if you felt my presence, if your spirit felt a shift, then write in the comments, "I receive this blessing." This simple act is a prophetic agreement. It is you stepping into alignment. It is you saying, "God, I am ready." And as you subscribe, I will continue guiding you through every chapter ahead. Every message you hear will carry a piece of the breakthrough I am building in your life. So like this message as a sign of gratitude. Comment as a declaration of faith. Subscribe as an act of spiritual alignment. For those who move with faith, heaven moves with power. And tonight heaven is moving for you.